Hey guys, how you doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to all those around the world. Welcome back to another Pokemon Unite video featuring Gengar climbing back up the Master Rank. Get back here, buddy. Deal with it. Now, a lot of people like to say Gengar doesn't have a lot of kill potential when he comes out of the bush, LO5, and B's first spawn. And you're right, he doesn't. This is coming from someone who's super biased playing Gengar. I love Gengar. I think its Pokemon is absolutely incredible, but his kill potential is very, very low when you're running Sludge Bomb out the gate. Now, if you're running Shadow Ball, man, you can go wherever you want. Shadow Ball does a lot of burst. It does huge numbers. It's fantastic. It really is. Because we all know I play Shadow Ball Dream Eater all the time. But sometimes you gotta change it up just to know, let other people realize that Hex and Sludge Bomb is still terrifying. And people still have PTSD to this day. Because day one, Gengar came out when this game first launched. Most broken Pokemon in the game. You could 1v5 Hero, no problem. You could 1v9, no problem. You hit somebody with it, Sludge Bomb Dream Eater, it was over. Or Sludge Bomb Hex, it was over. Now, it's balanced now. In my opinion, it's balanced. It's not overpowered, it's not, too weak or anything. It's nice. It's nice where it is. The downside with the ability is, as soon as you miss that Hex, your damage is done. Essentially, it's over. You gotta wait for your cooldown to come back up, you gotta sit here and try to auto-attack. But 9 out of 10, if you try to fight, auto-attacking, they're gonna kill you. But this Eldegoss and Charmeleon are going to realize that I'm level 9, they're level 6, and they're both about to get bursted down, no problem. 3-shot, get out of here. It's just, I've learned that coming back and being in these ranks all over again is great. Because, yeah, it's not what you want to hear, no. I'd rather be back at the Masters, I'm going to get there no problem within this week. That's a given. But the thing is, being back down in Veteran, I can sit here and I can see what's wrong. Because everybody, asks questions, how to counter this Pokemon, what Pokemon is better than this one, who should I use to climb. There's a lot of different variables, right? There's a lot of things people aren't paying attention to. Whereas when I'm back down in this rank, I can see a lot of things that's happening that weren't happening in the Masters, weren't happening in Ultra. Obviously, people's skill increases higher the rank it goes, sure. But there are some times where, like right here, I could not kill that Charmeleon because my ability was on cooldown. You know what I mean? But at the same time, when I'm sitting here playing at Masters rank, people still make the same mistakes that they would make in the very beginning of the game. They don't rotate. It happens in Masters, happens in Ultras, but 9 out of 10 people do rotate more in those ranks. But being back down in Veteran, people want to do whatever they feel like doing. Which is fine for the most part, but when you're sitting here playing a team game where you have to rotate to get objectives, you gotta do that. You gotta beat, A, B, and C. And you're all farming Adinos, you're sitting here in the jungle farming that Corphish, you're putting a hindrance on your squad. And this is regardless if you're playing group or solo queue, you're putting a damper on that team. Right here, this is a situation where it feels great to get in here, land this Hex Sludge Bomb Dream Eater combo, or what do you call it, Sludge Bomb combo. But then what happens? I'm on cooldown. So I get picked off. Now you could argue I wouldn't have been able to, to do that right away with Shadow Ball Dream Eater. Correct, but I could have picked off a couple targets from a distance before I decided to fully commit, because my Unite move was coming off cooldown. But at the same time, our Greninja is fantastic, and he actually comes up, follows me up here, picks up the rest of the group, and we move on. Now, when it comes to Gengar, we all know I enjoy Shadow Ball and Dream Eater more than Sludge Bomb Hex. Each their own. But at the end of the day, we're all here to play Gengar. But where is Gengar's buffs? We got a brand new patch notes coming up here soon. They didn't touch Gengar. Why? Again, I'm biased, right? But he needs buffs. Garchomp needs buffs. Ninetales needs buffs. You know what I'm saying? All these Pokemon need buffs, but we're not doing that. Why? And every time a buff or nerf happens, what do? They buff and nerf the wrong thing. By the way, this is what I'm talking about. Be mindful. They're sitting here derping around trying to kill the Charizard instead of being down here on Dreadnought. Imagine imagine Blastoise had a eject button Unite move. That was an easy capture for them. And this happens, like I said, sometimes in Masters games, it happens in Veteran, everywhere. I mean, so what are you going to do? It's just one of those things that people complain about it all the time, but it happens everywhere. So why complain about it? I mean, we're gonna try to learn. By the way, you saw that? I didn't land the Sludge Bomb on the Talonflame, but it went over his head and he got poisoned. And it's interesting. Anyway, if you think about it, Gengar needs buffs, right? It's not his damage needs buffed. If they touch this Pokemon's damage, if they buff his damage in any shape or form, he'll be back to the Gengar he was before. A monster. He still is a monster, but he's a late game monster. His early game is where his weakest point is. Because as you're playing Gengar, you're scaling. So generally speaking, you're running choice specs or you're running wise classes, your special attack is going through the roof every time you get into a team fight or an engage anyway. But where you're lacking is your HP, your defense, your special attack, or your special defense. Those are your three things you're lacking. And I think if they buff those to, you know, just a little bit, just give him something, a little bit more oomph. In the average player's hands, this Pokemon would be great. In a Masters player's hands, this Pokemon would be fantastic. You see what I'm saying? There's a different, because we do have something called a skill gap. I'm not saying that there are, what do you call it, Master ranked players aren't in expert, aren't in great. Sure, I'm sure you guys are out there. But I think it's far in between. There are very, very good players in every single rank, right? For example, I met an Absol player in my Discord not too long ago who's phenomenal when it comes to Absol, but he's not Master yet. But he's very, very good at playing that Pokemon. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily how bad you are with that Pokemon. It's sometimes you just get paired with the wrong group of people. Meaning, every game matchmaking is completely random, regardless of how you feel with your Pokemon. So you could be the best Absol player in the world, right? But you can get paired with a bunch of beginners, for example. And 9 out of 10, you're probably going to lose that game. It's crazy how you look at it. So there's not really a big reason to sit here and complain that, oh, my team didn't rotate. It happens everywhere. Like right now, this team is actually following around what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to pick off this Greninja. I'm not trying to force Zapdos, I'm not trying to rush this Zapdos down. I want this Greninja dead. Just because he has a chance to pop off. He's level 14. We finally take him out. I don't want him anywhere near the Zapdos with his Unite move. My squad is trying to pick off Pokemon instead of fighting the Zapdos, whereas the enemy team is trying to rush down the Zapdos. So they're low HP from doing this, we just come through, we clean them up. That was the whole plan, what I actually was trying to do. And 9 out of 10 it doesn't work, because you're sitting here playing a solo queue, people are just like, Zapdos is spawned, go get it! You know what I mean? It's hard sometimes. But we actually got a solo queue game where people didn't just face first check Zapdos. Fantastic. Either way, we're getting new buffs and new nerfs to Gardevoir. Why? They buffed all the wrong things. They buffed psychic damage. Nobody runs psychic. But of course we're going to make a video on it because I can't wait to see how much damage they actually increased on it, because they want us to start using that ability, so they gave it a buff. Thank you. But at the same time, you didn't buff the right things. Gardevoir, Garchomp. If you have both of them on your team, you're at a huge disadvantage because they need so much experience to level up to be relevant. Whereas you could have just lowered their level cap to evolve. That means they got their abilities quicker, they level up faster, they can be relevant. Whereas, like I said, you have both on your squad in one match, you're at a huge disadvantage. You know that, I know that, your grandma knows that. How come they don't? You know what I mean? Like, we have a giant community right now for Pokemon. Pokemon is the biggest thing in the world. But at the same time, we're still stuck here in this loop where you're buffing, you're nerfing the wrong things. By the way, Greedent finally got nerfed. He actually needed it. That's one thing they did right in this patch. But hey, brand new game, new updates, new buffs, new nerfs are going to come up next time. I guess let's find out. But in any case, come join me in the Discord. We will be doing group play here soon for ranking up. Hopefully you guys are involved and want to join in. Smash that like button, join that Discord. Catch you guys later. I'm out.